Hey, ever wondered what it means when people say they're getting a home inspected before they purchase? Or maybe you're wondering if you're going to buy a house, how do I know if the home is in good condition? Do I just take the seller's word for it? Do I take my realtor's word for it? This video is going to go over what's called the inspection period. Basically, as soon as an offer is accepted on a home, you're going to go into escrow. Within the first few days of escrow, it's within your best interest to have the home inspected. So you should have the inspector within your back pocket ready to call as soon as an offer is accepted if you're actively looking. That way, as soon as something is accepted, you call them, you make an appointment, and get them out there as soon as possible to look over that house and make sure it's in as good of condition as you want it as the buyer. So it's going to be exactly how it sounds. You call an inspector, you make a date, they'll come through and inspect the home that you're looking to purchase. They're going to look up and down and make sure there's nothing that needs to be repaired or replaced. They're going to write down everything they see on a report, and it's going to be sent over to you. This person is going to be basically your best friend through this first portion of the transaction, because this person is going to make sure that what you're buying is in the best condition that it can be. So once you get that report, then your realtor and you will sit down and look over what's the most important for you as the buyer to bring to the attention of the seller so that the transaction goes through. So since they're going to be writing down everything, I would make sure to only put in the things that are the most important to you. Like, let's say the air conditioner's not working, there's a leaky faucet, there's some leaky plumbing. Something that's major that's going to cause you to spend money to fix are things that should be brought to the attention of the seller. So we're going to write them down, or you and your realtor write them down in something called a request for repairs that will be sent over to the seller. Once we're done with that, we sign it, we send it over to the seller. They will look over it with their realtor, and they can, this is basically a negotiation period, because they can respond in a few different ways. They can either say, hey, that's fine with me, let's fix it all and get it over with. They can look at things and maybe think that some of these are important and some aren't. So maybe they'll send something back that says, we'd like to fix these items and not these items. You can negotiate with the seller that way. The seller also might try and compensate you in other ways, like lowering the price or maybe just crediting you after escrow for certain repairs. So there's lots of different ways it can happen. In some cases, the sellers are not willing to fix things, and sometimes the transaction goes under because of it. But would you rather have had a transaction go under because the seller was not willing to fix something? Or would you have rather have gone through this and figured out that there's major repairs after you've already purchased this home that's worth so much money? That's why this is a very important period to take very seriously, to make sure you get a good inspector and to do it as early in the process as possible so you, the buyer, are the most happy with your purchase. So that basically concludes the inspection period. After this, we move on to the next portion of escrow. This is only the first few days of escrow, or maybe the first week of escrow, basically. So if you like this content, please give this video a quick like. If you have any questions for my partner or I, feel free to send us a message or leave a quick comment. Thanks a lot.